All right, welcome back to the lunch table, post-quarantine edition, but we're still doing these Zoom interviews because we ain't trying to catch COVID-19. Shout out to my next guest coming from Ottawa, Canada. Jaden, what's good, bro?
What's going on, bro? How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's interesting about you is you're an R&B singer from up north.
hmm
Jaden spelled JYDN. I like the little abbreviations that are going on with all these artists, man. Why decide to go with that for your name, bro?
Um, I'm gonna say this, and I feel like it's a true statement. I know probably a lot of people with no vowels in their name will say the same thing, but that originates from high school, man. Like I had this squad that we used to like. It was like an art collective, and like one was a photographer, one was a producer. Oh, he's on.
Okay,
Okay,
we're gonna
I
keep it
didn't know
rolling.
he was coming on.
Oh yeah, but yeah, bro. So you had a little art collective going on.
Yeah, so I had an art collective going on, and we wanted to like kind of differentiate ourselves from all the other art collectives going on in our high school.
Hmm.
And I was like, yo, like, why don't we just take the vowels out of our name? And
Mm,
we are all like, yo, that's kind of fire, because at the time this was like 2000 and I say like 12, 13. It's kind of just like a new thing to have no vowels in
yeah.
your name. So I was like, yo, like let's do that, and everyone was on board, and it kind of just stuck. Like I feel like Jaden with no vowels is just me now. I've assumed that role as, and
Yeah.
now I've just kind of incorporated it into everything else, that I do in my life.
Well, I'm happy that you did that back in 2011 because now we see like Jaden, now we see Division, now we see
Oh, for sure.
Jameson. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
I think taking out the vowels is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a wave, but I think a lot of successful artists are going that route because I think it's cool when someone just wants to go by their birth given name. You feel me?
For sure, for sure. Yeah, no. I looked at other names too, like when I started actually dropping music as an artist, and I just felt like Jaden was just so I feel like I had it for the beginning, and it means so much to me. And when people ask me questions like this, I have a story behind it, and I feel like, yeah, Jaden just was super like perfect for me.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
So, whether people want to admit it or not, Canada has actually been the most influential place in music for the past decade, and that's
Yeah.
that's all thanks to Drake.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, but it's been like Drake, Party Next Door, where I feel like you're in Party Next Door more so. Like I feel like
hmm
you get a lot of your influence from, but where do you really pinpoint your influence from, bro?
Um, I feel like it's a bunch of things. Like, um, when it comes to the Toronto scene, that is definitely a huge influence, because when I started making music, that's when Drake was like at the height of his career, I believe. Like he was making Nothing Was the Same and Take Care, and those were such influential sounds in the game. And so like that being like a couple hours away from me, I just chameleon to it, and became somebody that wanted to incorporate all those different sounds that Drake
Mm-hmm.
was doing. And even the weekend when he was coming out, and he had like uh Kiss Land and all those albums that he dropped, it was just like something that we all bumped in my area, because like we repped it. It was Canada, it was ours. And so yeah, bro. And so yeah, just the new school of Toronto definitely really kind of molded my sound. And then like a lot of old school figures like Craig David and John B, and a lot of the old school heads that just, I found them, they were just like magicians at their game. They were like they were the top at singing, and that they were top at lyrics. And
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like I wanted to have every area just as like a ode to the inspiration that.
Mm.
And so yeah, I would say like the new school and the old school kind of, I'm just like a hybrid of all those artists. So
I could definitely see that because going through your discography on Spotify,
yeah.
I noticed you just have Navyblue as like your only album over there, but I'm going
Yeah.
through your singles and I'm like, wow, I really like the fact that his singles sound different every
hmm
single time. Like for instance, I think Wild was a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
Right Side was a little bit more catchy than like,
Yeah.
the rest of your singles. And then you had songs like Provider and Inhibitions
Yeah.
where it was a little bit more like on the mellow and moody side that's like really getting pushed on in like R&B music right now.
hmm
So the fact that you're saying like you're mentioning people like Craig David to The Weeknd to Drake,
hmm
it's like it all makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I feel like with Craig David, the reason why I love him so much, and the fact that, you know, he's an old school dude, and, you know, when you grow up, you can't help but listen to him because he had giant singles. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he was one of the creators of this whole like sing rap type uh, R&B that everyone's making with like Bryson Tiller and Tory Lanez and, you know, Party Next Door. I feel like if you actually listen to his stuff, like if you listen to 7 Days, he's literally rapping. He just sounds good and he's singing too at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like um, just listening to that, it's kind of just like molding my flow perfectly
Yeah.
into what's modern, right? Because everyone's doing that triplets thing like the Migos, but now we're trying to swag it up, sauce it
Yeah.
up with like R&B and everything. So
You had a
like I feel
record where
like,
you were doing that too, huh?
yeah, bro, man,
Yeah.
like I feel like that's me. That's definitely me. So every time you hear me rap, that's like that's just coming from the soul. So
I
yeah.
hear you, man. What do you think it is about Canada in general that's really making their mark in the music scene?
I really feel like it's just the fact that for so long, um, we didn't have exposure. So I feel like everyone has to go 10 times hard for their voice to be heard on the
Mm,
same level as, you know, everybody, maybe somebody in the States, because, you know, they're just like, there's not a lot of urban music before like Drake and all those guys. Like it's really been something that if we have urban music in Canada, it's like, that's, I feel like, okay, there was like a bunch of poppin' rappers that were just stuck in Canada, and they had the radio stations on Bob back when I was a kid and stuff. And I feel like they never broke out, but now it's like you're seeing guys and they're just on another level of like how they're able to access the creativity through the music that come from Canada. And I feel like you're just hearing the guys at the tip of the iceberg. There's so many other dudes that are amazing, but it's those guys that were able to use the craft to get them to another level. That's just like hard work, and I feel like talent and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like when you hear a Canadian artist, you're like, whoa, that's amazing, because you're hearing literally the best of the best. So it's competition, man.
I hear you,
Yeah,
man. And you know, I'm happy to see that you're going to be competing with like the R&B legends sooner,
for sure,
hopefully
man.
sooner than later, bro.
Yeah, man. I really hope, bro. I really hope.
I was so too, man. So you said you started what back in 2011, or when exactly did you start?
So for me, I started making music. It was more of a natural progress to actually recording in a studio and dropping tracks. It was more of learning how to sing and learning how to be in front of people and sing in crowds and melodies and all these cool little things that you can do with your voice. So I initially started making music in that way through the progress. I would say my freshman year. Growing up, I wasn't like the most flashiest kid, and I was kind of like socially awkward, to be honest with you. So I was like, I'd get shy, and like, especially when I was like, I liked it when I was like trying to compete with girl to get girls' attention and stuff like that. I felt like I wasn't that confident. So like, I was playing sports and doing all that stuff, but I didn't feel like it was like my natural calling, and I felt like I could maximize my potential and do something other than sports.
Mm,
So when I went into high school, we had like a mandatory music class that we had to take, and like I fell in love with making music, and I fell in love with singing and expressing yourself in a different outlet creatively. And so yeah, so grade 9, my freshman year, I was learning how to sing. I joined a choir. But the funny thing
nice.
is, I joined the choir, but my friends were like, "Yo, why'd you join the choir?" I was like, "Yo, to help me get better and sing and stuff like that." And like my friends, I went to high school where like everyone was getting joked on. So like I was too embarrassed to like go out and sing in front of the choir. And when we actually it was time to go, I just usually would just come in after school every day and kind of just learn the nuances of singing and really
Yeah.
practice. So that was grade 9, and then grade 10 and 11, I joined a band with a couple of my schoolmates, and we were just like rocking at coffee houses and doing a bunch of like stuff for like charity and stuff like that at our school.
Mm,
And yeah, I did that all throughout high school. And then I feel like moving on to like when I got out of high school and I was entering into university, by the way, I'm a university student.
mm.
I was like, how do I take this to the next level? I have too much passion for this to just, you know, stay at this level. Like, what can I do to really showcase my talents and like my creativity to the world? And that's when I hooked up with one of my boys, Maurice Moore. You interviewed him, and we really made some amazing stuff. And it just ended up leading to collabing with other people. And yeah, now I'm here, and this is what I do, man. And that's how I started music. You know?
You know what I really enjoy about you is that I feel like your mind is going at 100 miles an hour,
Yeah,
but you're so passionate about it.
For sure.
You feel me? Like, because I'll talk to artists like all day, right?
Yeah.
But you're one of the few that really stick out to me to where like I can really feel the passion emanating
For
from you.
sure, bro. For sure.
You know what I mean? Because you're over here just like, well, this happened and then this happened and this happened,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, dude, like I'm really interested in your
Mm-hmm.
story, and
Yeah.
you know what exactly has led to the passion, like because you obviously were doing sports
Mm-hmm.
before and then you transitioned into choir, but what really like molded that passion for you?
I feel like it's really just my desire to, do the best that I can at something that I love. Um, I feel like everyone's biggest fear in their life is regret, right?
Mm,
Just not being able to get back what, when the time has passed. And I feel like for me, that's what that's what powers me every day, is just like not wanting to live with any regret.
mm,
When I'm older and I have a family, or I'm a grandparent, I want to look back and be happy at the times that I had and like doing the things that I love. And I feel like the passion is also, it comes with me being an athlete. For a lot of my life, it's just like that competitive passion to be like the best that you can be. um and so I feel like that just coming together is just like what gives me so much life. When I talk about music, it's something that I love to do. I eat, I breathe it, and I sleep it. So
amen to that, man. I got that exact same amount of passion for the Golden State Warriors who lost to the Toronto Raptors last year. Fuck,
bro.
man.
Yo man, you should have
Bro,
seen the passion in the streets when we won, and everyone was going crazy in Toronto. Like, that was definitely a moment for us.
were you out there? You were out in Toronto when the
I
whole
was
thing happened?
No, I didn't get to make it out, but like every one of my friends went. I was literally the last person. I think I was even in the studio that day. So, but yo, we were screaming at home. Like, I remember I was watching at a bar with my boys, and when when the deal was sealed, bro, we were going crazy. It was a
Bro,
party.
I was so mad at that game, bro, because I think we were also playing at Golden State at that time too. But
Oh
then we
yeah,
ended up
yeah,
losing the whole shit. I'm like, come on,
yeah,
man. Now everybody's gonna get on us for
yeah,
having KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and then they just
yeah.
got Kawhi.
Well, like, you guys are in good shape, man. Like, technically, like, if I don't know if the season's gonna start, they're talking about it, but
Mhm.
y'all still are like in place for everyone to come back healthy and then get a draft pick, and you guys are
Yeah,
back in the mix. So
that's what I'm hoping for, bro. Shout out to the Raptors, though, man. It was a good
yeah,
season last year for the both of us. I'll say that.
yeah,
So I'm looking through your discography again, and then "Are You Down" is your most poppin' song. That was back in
yeah.
2016.
Hmm.
What do you think led to like the popularity for that song in particular?
I don't know, but that was the first song I ever recorded, and that
Oh
was ended
wow.
up being my biggest song. Like, I feel like it was just um being super raw with it and just experimenting.
Mhm.
Sometimes artists get in their head when they want to make a creative like thing come to life. They're very selective, but I feel like I just hopped in the studio and like was like, yo, let's just make some random stuff. Like, let's try to make something that sounds like Travis Scott, something that sounds like The Weeknd, something that sounds like a bunch of artists. And we just ended up coming. I don't know if I did a good job, but it came up. We just ended up with this like this just canvas of random things, and I ended up being Are You Down, like us doing those crazy auto-tune voices and us doing like the deep like stuff. So it was just honestly us just throwing paint at a wall and seeing what we get.
Hmm,
Yeah,
nice. I'm
yeah.
sure "Are You Down" was definitely the it was kind of like the beacon that saying like, hey, like I can really make this into a career, seeing as how
Hmm.
successful this song is.
Yeah, yeah. See that, what's crazy about that is every time, like, I feel like in my career where I'm going through the grind and I'm going through the struggle, and I want to maybe just take a step back and think about if this is something that I want to do. Literally, there is like a sign every time from that comes down from the universe and
Hmm,
tells me, bro, like, this is what you should be doing. Are You Down is like the perfect example of that, because I would say the day before, literally the day before, um, I
here
just
we
dropped a
go.
song. I think it was like December of 2016 or something. I dropped that song, and it was on Spotify for a week. And at that time, Spotify wasn't like what independent artists were looking at. They were looking at their SoundCloud views and everything, right? So I'm on SoundCloud, and you know, I'm trying to see if I'm getting like the plays that I want, and it's kind of just like not working out. I'm like hitting people and like, yo, check out my song and stuff like that, just grinding, right? And I'm just like laying in my bed one night, and I'm like, yo, like, what do I got to do? Like, what is it that I need to do? Am I missing anything? What is it that my music is missing? And literally, I wake up the next morning, I get a text from somebody that I know, and they're like, "Yo, your tracks are on all over Spotify in the R&B section, like R&B Right Now, like
Mm-hmm.
Bedroom Jams, Silk Sheets or something like that, of these playlists, right? Massive playlists." So I look and I'm like 100,000 streams in like 24 hours. I'm like, bro, what is going on?
That's
Like, I was
crazy.
literally yesterday sitting in a different spot where I was like questioning myself, like whether my music was worthy of being heard by, the masses or whatever. And then the next day it literally happens, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, that's how I know, like, I just got to keep going, right?
I feel you,
Yeah.
bro. Have
Yeah.
Have you had like any more signs like that after Are You Down?
Yeah. Literally 2020. So all of 2019, I was just like working on like making music for myself. And I really grew the passion for writing for others, because I went to a couple
Yeah.
sessions. I was like, wow, like I love being a part of someone else's creative journey. So I just fell in love with publishing and songwriting. And I was like, yo, like, I really, really want to, start writing for other people. And I remember literally the same around the same time, but in 2019, I'm sitting there in my bed. I'm like, how do I write for other people? Like, how do I get them to listen to the song? Maybe if it's a demo, and how do I like get them to buy into it? And like literally the next day, January 1st, I think it was the day after New Year's. I get a call from my manager to tell me that I'm going to Korea for, I guess, a K-pop. They had they had a bunch of people from North America come and write K-pop jams for
What
their
the
artists
hell?
on the label. So I was like, yo, like, they're telling me to keep going. I can't stop, bro.
Yo, you're telling me you're making all this moody music, this R&B shit, and then you're over
Yeah,
here writing for K-pop stars?
yeah,
That's
bro. Like,
crazy.
that's the thing, is like, I love R&B.
Huh.
That's my genre. I feel like for most of what I do, it's like because I love R&B so much, and it's just inspired. But I also love a bunch of other types of music, and I love writing. So I just want to be in a situation where like I go in and start working with artists that don't even make R&B. It tests my skills as a songwriter,
Hmm.
and it allows me to become opened up to other influences, and I can incorporate that to my R&B music, right? So
I hear you, man. That's why some of the greatest songwriters include The Dream,
oh yeah.
Neo. Bro, I'll even throw in Eric Bellinger for there, bro.
Oh, for
Like, you know
sure.
what I mean? And these people are making dough off of just writing songs for other people. So, that being said, it's like, I don't think anybody should dismiss penmanship. You feel me?
Yeah,
Penmanship is extremely important.
I feel like in this new era of music, everybody listens to the beat, and then now the lyrics come second, right?
Hmm.
And then it's just like, oh, what's the beat saying? If it's banging, you might like the song might be like trash, but if the beat is if it's hitting so heavy, it's
Yeah.
like you're on a
Oh, this
wave.
song
And
is
that,
amazing, bro.
yeah, you're on a wave, man. Just the beat
Yeah.
can do so much. But I feel like we're getting to a point where in R&B specifically, where voices and writing and becoming and being a real technician is coming back. Like we're hearing real R&B these days.
Well, that's why R&B is so powerful, because R&B music doesn't necessarily rely on the beat to carry the song. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like Summer Walker's album "Over It," that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite. Snow Allegra's album from
Oh
last
yeah,
year, one
yeah,
of my favorites. And it's like, dude, it's because their voices and their lyrics are carrying the music.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And to translate it back to you, it's like, yeah, your beats were kind of like your beats were definitely different from song
yeah.
to song, but at the same time, your voice and your lyrics, they're just soothing enough for me to be like, okay, I could really see where he's going with this shit.
Yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from keeping it simple. Like I see all these guys like Frank Ocean. Like Frank Ocean drops tracks and the beat is so simple, but it works perfectly because at the end of the day, you feel the soul in his voice and everything, right? So my thing is simplicity is key. Everything should be when it comes to R&B, you're hearing the voice and you're hearing the melodies and the lyrics. And I feel like that's what carries a song. That's what makes an R&B song special. And
Mhm.
then the beat is always second. Like a lot of these R&B songs, especially for me that I write, sometimes I have the melody before I even have the beat. I'll just like come up with a melody in my head, and then I'll go and work with a producer and we'll try to paint that. So yeah, I just like, for me, it's always been about penmanship. I feel like that's what carries the genre, and it will always be there.
Amen to that, bro. Who are some people that you've written songs for that your
Um,
NDA will allow you to say?
I've done. I think a lot of it is now the K-pop stuff. Like
Okay.
I have a couple. Yeah, like we're working on getting placements in Korea, and um, they're very quiet about who they
Yeah,
like
for sure.
when the songs get placed. They won't let you know until literally it's either dropped or like a couple weeks before. So like I know that we have some placements in the works. So I guess I'll find out when the songs come out. That would be like
So,
the
so
biggest
that's
thing for
gonna be
me.
like your third sign. Like,
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
I
for
wonder when the
sure.
K-pop song's gonna drop. Oh, K-pop song
Yeah.
drops tomorrow.
Literally, I'm just laying in my bed, man, and I'm yeah. For sure.
So going back to your own music, bro. I mean, you
Mhm.
obviously dropped your album Navyblue back in 2017, but you've just
Yeah.
been dropping like single after
Mhm.
single after single. After that, when can we expect like a new EP or a new album from you?
For me, I think it's going to be a bunch of projects until um, I'm able to do exactly what I want to do. I feel like right now with the Navy Blue series that I'm trying to do it. I just exposed myself. I'm trying to do a Navy Blue series. So I'm trying to drop Navy Blue 1, which I did, Navy
Yeah.
Blue 2, and Navy Blue 3. So right now I'm working on Navy Blue 2. I feel like right now I'm at a point where I want to do the stuff that I did on Navy Blue, but I want to do it in a more polished way. I
Mm.
want to reach out and work with other producers. I just feel like uh, when I want to do my debut album, it will be like me being able to like, oh, yo, I need a guitarist. I heard this guitarist on YouTube. Let's just
Ah.
reach out to him. Like I have so much resources and accessibility to anything that I need to create my masterpiece. But I feel like for Navy Blue and Navy Blue 2, the one I'm working on, I feel like it's just like polishing my game and getting ready to get to that point where when I drop my debut, it's amazing. And another thing with like Navy Blue, I want to model it after. If you look at a bunch of artists like Tory Lanez, they have the Chicks Tape series,
Yeah.
the New Toronto series. I think Logic has like Bobby Quarantino,
Hmm.
um, and I want my fans to essentially know that when I'm dropping Navy Blue, they're getting the project that
Hmm.
they fell in love with originally, when they first started listening to me. So I just want to be able to have something that I can always go back to and be like, yo, this is the real JYDN. And then if I want to experiment and do other things, then I can. But the fans are still getting everything that they want.
So what I've gotten from this interview so far is that A, you can sing your ass off.
Thank you.
B, you're very passionate.
Yeah.
C, you're writing for K-pop stars.
Yeah.
And and D, you're very strategic with your releases. I
Yeah.
just gotta say, bro, like I have a lot of confidence in you just because I know where your mind is at now.
Thank you.
You know
Thank
what I
you.
mean? Because usually when I see just people drop singles and whatnot, I'm over here like scheming like, what exactly is their long-term plan?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
you can't just, I mean, you can try, but you can't just survive off singles. So
That's
the
true.
fact that you have like a plan for your Navy Blue series
Mm-hmm.
leading up to your eventual album, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% for it, bro, and I cannot wait to see what
Appreciate
you
that,
got
bro.
coming up, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, it's the Navy Blue series is something that I'm working on. Um, if anyone's wondering who's watching this, like that's coming soon. Like I think uh maybe late fall. So
Okay, there we
yeah,
go. Hopefully everything's opened up in Canada by then.
I think so. Like let's just keep our fingers crossed. It's crazy out here in the world. We just gotta push through.
Amen to that, brother. Yo, Jaden,
Yeah,
before we head out, bro, I'm gonna need to get you on my Instagram, man, so you can say what's up to the people, bro.
absolutely, bro.
What up, bro? Nico, Blitz, Jaden, man, tell them what we doing over here at the lunch table.
Hey yo, it's good. We're just chilling, me and Nico. My name is JYDN. I'm an artist from Ottawa, Ontario, and make sure to go check me out.
There we go, man. This is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico, Blitz, Jaden. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you, dog. Let me get your. I'm gonna go DM you and whatnot too. Let's link up for show whenever you're out here and whatnot.
Absolutely, bro. Should be soon, man. I appreciate it, Nico.
My guy. Thank you so much.
Take care.